I want to talk about something that I don't think people are truly honest enough about: pornography. Before anyone twists this into something it's not, I want to be very clear. I'm not an expert. I'm not here to preach. I'm not better than anybody else here. And honestly, I don't have a lot of experience with it. But the experiences I do have didn't feel good. They didn't feel exciting. They didn't make me feel comfortable. If anything, it made me feel disconnected and almost disgusted with myself afterwards. Not necessarily because I think sex is bad or desire is bad, but because something about it felt empty. Like I wasn't becoming more connected. I was just becoming more numb and filling a void. And part of that probably comes from how early I was when I got exposed to it. I was only 13, 14 years old when I first saw it. And looking back now, that matters more than people realize. At 14 years old, you don't have context. You don't have the understanding of intimacy or understand what real connection, respect, or emotional closeness really is. Your brain is still forming. You're still figuring out who you are. So when something like that enters your life that early, it doesn't just show you something, it wires something into your brain. It plants these expectations and blurs the line between intimacy and performance. It also introduces desire without teaching responsibility, emotion, or any of the meaning behind it. I didn't have the words for it back then, but I remember feeling confused and uncomfortable, like I saw something I wasn't ready to understand, and something in me knew that. As I got older, every time someone tried to show something to me, or some girl showed up on my Instagram, that same feeling followed me. Not excitement, but distance, disconnection. Like I wasn't becoming more of anything. And what really pushed me to talk about this isn't even my own experiences, it's my friends. I've watched people I care about struggle with this quietly, joking about it on the surface, but underneath it all, you can tell it messes with them. It messes with their confidence. It screws up their expectations, the way they look at themselves, the way they look at their real relationships. And the scariest part about it is most of them don't even want to be stuck in it. They're not weak, they're not gross, they're not broken. They're just people. And they found something that gives them quick relief in a world that already feels so overwhelming. And I think that's the part people miss a lot. Porn isn't usually necessarily about being horny, more about an escaping the loneliness or the stress or whatever it may be, escaping feelings that you don't know how to sit with right now. And yeah, it'll work. Only for a moment. But every single time that moment passes, it'll leave something behind. It'll leave you with shame and a warped idea of intimacy, or a quiet voice that says, why did I do that? Why don't I feel satisfied? And for me, that feeling showed up really fast. It didn't take much exposure for my brain to go, yeah, this isn't right. It didn't make me feel closer to myself or anybody else. If anything, it made me feel detached. And seeing my friends go through this, seeing how hard it is for them to even talk about it, or how embarrassed they feel, how alone they feel, made me realize something very important. This isn't a conversation about morality. It's a conversation about mental health and connection and ways that we can use to cope when we don't have better tools. There's a moment in my life that really stuck with me, and I think about it more than people would expect. One of my friends invited me to go to a strip club with him. And here's the part that messed with me. He was already in a relationship, and I wasn't. And somehow that made it feel even worse. He kept saying things like, it doesn't mean anything, it's just for fun. She doesn't have to know, everyone does it. But standing there, listening to him talk, trying to talk me into it, just shut me down. Not because I thought I was better than him, not because I'm a morally perfect person. I just could not bring myself to it. I couldn't picture myself walking into that place and feeling okay afterward. I couldn't shake the thought of his girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend, someone who trusted him and trusted me, someone who thought she was in something real. And even though I wasn't in a relationship, it still felt wrong. Like I'd be participating in something that didn't align with who I wanted to be. And I remember sitting with that feeling and realizing something uncomfortable. Just because something is normalized doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because everyone jokes about it doesn't mean it doesn't leave a mark. What really got to me wasn't the strip club itself, it was how easy it was for him to disconnect, how casually he separated loyalty from desire, and how quickly it became quote-unquote no big deal. And that's when it clicked for me. Stuff doesn't always show up as addiction right away. Sometimes it shows up in blurred illness, and to justify things you once said you'd never do. I didn't go. Not because I'm judging him, but because I knew if I did, I'd leave feeling hollow, like I betrayed someone and something inside of me. And that moment reinforced what I already felt about porn and hypersexualized spaces. They don't make me feel more alive. They just make me feel more disconnected from myself, from real intimacy, from the kind of love that I actually want. Watching my friends struggle with that line and watching how normal it was for him made me realize how many people are truly fighting this quietly. Not because they want to hurt anyone, but because they were never taught how to sit with desire without escaping into something empty. That moment didn't make me feel superior. It made me feel so sad because I couldn't see how easy it is to lose yourself when no one else ever talks about this honestly. If you're someone who struggles with this, or you know somebody who struggles with this, I'm not here to judge you at all. I know you probably have heard it all and are already hard enough on yourself. And I know you're probably not proud of it. And I know quitting isn't just as simple as just stop. I'm not going to do this anymore. But I also know this. You're not disgusting. You're not weak. And this habit of yours does not define you. If you're like me, someone who didn't feel right engaging with pornography, or felt uncomfortable even admitting that, you're not weird either. You're allowed to listen to that instinct. I think we all need more honest conversations like this, and to stop covering them up with jokes and batter and shame, and be more understanding with each other. Because I believe the goal isn't and shouldn't be to make people feel worse about their situations. The goal should be to help people feel free again, to feel present, to feel connected to themselves and to others. And then one more thing before I send you guys off. It's okay to admit you're addicted. It doesn't make you weak. Addiction isn't a moral failure. I don't want you to look at it like that. It's usually just a sign that something inside you is hurting, and you're looking for relief. Most people don't wake up wanting to be dependent on something. They stumble into it while they're trying to cope and survive, or feel okay even just for a moment. And you're not wrong for struggling. What matters is that you don't pretend that it's fine or hate yourself for it. It's recognizing it with honesty and choosing when you're ready to move towards something healthier. Healing doesn't start with shame. It doesn't start with beating yourself up. It starts right here, right now, with understanding. If this video helps even one person feel less alone, or helps someone rethink what they're consuming and why they're consuming it, then it was worth it to me saying out loud. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for letting me talk about something that most people keep buried. And thank you for being open and honest and understanding with me. Editor's note, I would like to apologize for the way my voice sounds. I am very sick, very congested, and I'm laying in bed. I don't feel the greatest. But hopefully that doesn't deter from my words. Thank you guys all again. And as always, stay rolly.